The clock is ticking on a decision that could define the future of the Philadelphia Eagles, my friend. Free agency opens in a matter of days, and Howie Roseman has his eyes locked on a 26-year-old pass rusher that multiple sources are already pointing to as the team's #1 priority this offseason. And the most impressive part? The Eagles have already been trying to lock this guy up before the market even opens to the rest of the league. Stick with me, because this story involves the second-best free agent in the entire NFL in 2026, and the Eagles are hopeful he stays. Before I break it all down for you, if you're a die-hard Eagles fan, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel, because over the next few days, free agency is going to explode, and I'll be bringing you everything in real time. Every move, every contract, every rumor, all right here. Because this Eagles offseason is shaping up to be historic, and I'll be with you every step of the way. With NFL free agency arriving on March 9th, 2026, the Philadelphia Eagles are at a defining crossroads. The Super Bowl LIX champions need to make surgical decisions to keep their winning core together, while also managing a significant list of players heading to the open market in Eagles green. We're talking about big names: tight end Dallas Goedert, safety Reed Blankenship, and linebacker Nakobe Dean. But one name stands above all the others. One name that is dominating conversations behind the scenes at the NovaCare complex. That name is Jaelan Phillips, edge rusher, 26 years old. And according to NFL.com, he is the second best free agent in the entire NFL this offseason. You heard that right? Second overall. ESPN has him at number 3. Sports Illustrated slots him at number 6. No matter which ranking you look at, my friend, Jaelan Phillips sits at the very top of the list of the most coveted players on the market, and the Eagles want him back badly. According to Zach Berman of The Athletic, Phillips is expected to be the Eagles' top priority in free agency. And it doesn't stop there. Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports reported that the team is hopeful they can get a deal done with Phillips before the market officially opens. That is something very important for you to understand. The Eagles are trying to close this deal before March 9th, before 31 other teams get their shot at this guy. And that urgency says everything about just how much Philadelphia values this player. But why so much interest? Why are the Eagles willing to put Jaelan Phillips above everything else this offseason? Well, let's remember how this player even got to Philadelphia. The Eagles traded a third-round pick to acquire Phillips mid-season. When you give up a third-round pick for a player, you are sending a clear message to the rest of the league. This guy is worth the price. And now, with Phillips hitting the open market, Howie Roseman wants to do whatever it takes to make sure that original investment truly pays off. The question now is, can the Eagles actually close this deal before the free agency window swings open? Or does Jaelan Phillips hit the market and suddenly 31 other teams jump into the bidding war? That is the dilemma keeping Howie Roseman up at night right now. And you know how this works? When a free agent of Phillips's caliber enters the open market, the phone calls come from everywhere. Teams with pass rush needs, teams with cap space, teams that never had the privilege of watching Phillips play for them, they're all going to want a piece. The edge rusher position is one of the most valuable in the entire NFL today. The ability to pressure the quarterback, to disrupt the backfield, and to create chaos against the opposing offensive line is literally what separates average defenses from dominant ones. The Eagles know this better than anyone. And having a 26-year-old player who is still just entering the prime of his career, that is exactly the kind of piece you do everything in your power to keep on your roster. Now, the CBS Sports report also highlights other important elements that are currently on Howie Roseman's radar. According to those same sources, the Eagles' current focus includes getting contract extensions done with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, two players who anchor Philadelphia's defensive line and are absolutely essential to the team's success for years to come. In other words, the front office is clearly committed to fortifying the defense, and bringing Phillips back would be the crown jewel of that entire strategy. There's one more detail worth your attention, my friend. The report also mentions that A.J. Brown's future with the Eagles is far from certain. According to Jonathan Jones, it's hard to get a clear yes or no on whether A.J. Brown will be in Philadelphia next season. GM Howie Roseman has not ruled out trading the wide receiver, despite the salary cap consequences of doing so before June 1st. It's a separate situation from Phillips, but it shows just how loaded this Eagles offseason really is. Tough decisions are being made right now, and every single piece of the puzzle affects the others. Back to Phillips. What happens if the Eagles don't get a deal done before March 9th? Well, That's when things get a whole lot more complicated. Other teams come in, the price goes up, the competition gets fiercer, and a free agent ranked top 3 in the entire NFL does not sit on the market without offers for very long. This is the kind of situation that can slip through your fingers fast if you don't act with conviction. Roseman has a reputation for being aggressive when he wants a player, and every indication out there is that he wants Jaelan Phillips back in green. Now, let's be clear. A contract only gets done when both sides agree. We don't know exactly what Phillips is asking for. We don't know what numbers are being discussed behind closed doors. What we do know, based on reports from the Athletic and CBS Sports, is that the Eagles' interest is real. The desire to close before free agency is real, and Phillips' status as one of the best available free agents is real. The rest is still being written. What makes this story so fascinating is the timing. There are only a few days left before the market opens. Every hour matters. Every phone call, every meeting, every number put on the table. Any of it could be the deciding factor between Phillips staying in Philadelphia or putting on a different uniform. And the Eagles, coming off a high-level season, have absolutely no interest in watching one of their biggest defensive investments suit up for a rival. And what if Phillips walks? That changes the conversation entirely. Think about it. The Eagles gave up a third-round draft pick to bring him in mid-season. That means if he leaves now as a free agent, Philadelphia gets nothing in return. No pick, no immediate compensation, absolutely nothing. On top of that, the team would be losing a young 26-year-old pass rusher in a market where that kind of player is increasingly rare and expensive. Replacing an elite edge rusher in free agency costs money, and replacing one through the draft takes luck and years of development. Neither option comes close to simply keeping what you already have. The Eagles' defensive line was built to dominate, and a hole in that line can cost you dearly in a league where games are won and lost in the trenches. So, my friend, the picture is clear. The Eagles are hopeful. The priority is set, and the clock is ticking. Howie Roseman has a few days to do what he does best. Build the future of a championship-caliber team with smart, decisive moves. Jaelan Phillips, 26 years old, the second-best free agent in the NFL, is squarely in Philadelphia's crosshairs, and Eagles fans around the world are watching this negotiation closer than ever. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the Eagles are going to get Jaelan Phillips signed before free agency opens, or does he hit the market and the competition makes it a whole lot harder? Let me know in the comments because this debate is going to be red hot over the next few hours. And if you want to keep following every Eagles offseason move, you already know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss a thing. Fly, Eagles, fly.